Alrighty guys, I'm all loaded up. You got everything you need. Let's go for a ride. Hello everybody, my name is Deputy Hardisty. I'm with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office and I work out of District 1 substation. Where that entails is, well, most of the East Valley. We cover areas like Mesa, Chandler, Gilbert, some parts of Queen Creek, some parts of Apache Junction, and as well as Guadalupe. I'm going to be taking you on a virtual ride-along today to give you a little bit of a day in the life. And that kind of leads me into the first question is, what is a typical day for me? It's hard to really pinpoint it. You know, there's no real set schedule on we got to do this at a certain time or anything. It's we get our calls and we respond, and typically we have a wide arrangement of calls here at District 1. I patrol out normally in our East Mesa area, and the type of calls we get could range from, you know, a traffic accident to maybe someone trespassing, and really anything in between. So right now I'm responding to a call for service. It came out as a welfare check, but right now we have a couple of deputies that are already on scene, and they actually have one detained. We're going to be on scene here in another minute, and I'll go ahead and speak with the deputy that is on scene and actually detained the subject, and kind of see what's going on and maybe break down you know, what crimes have been committed. So we could be dealing with maybe some type of trespassing, or it can go further than that. It could be burglary, or honestly a multitude of things when we get calls like what we're dealing with right now. I'm not going to go through all of the details in the call notes, but let's go ahead and talk to them and see what we got going on here. Guy's walking down the street, and it looks like he walked into somebody's residence and decided to lay down on their couch. So obviously that's, you know, not typical behavior, and certainly something that we address, but what looks like what's going to happen, just because sometimes with cases like this, not everybody is always willing to aid, and what that means is they're not willing to want us to press charges against them. So what we'll do in cases like this is we'll, kind of like how we do with businesses, where a business owner has the right to deny someone entry into their business, so they'll get what's called a notice of trespass. It looks like that's what we're going to be doing here today, is just serving this gentleman that walked inside with a trespass notice. So if he's someone that hangs around in this area, and if he comes back to this property and the homeowner has proof that this person came back and violated the notice of trespass that will serve, then there could be possible criminal charges in the future. So it looks like that's what we're dealing with today, which is you know, sometimes best case scenario for not only us, but also the person that was involved in the incident. So they're not getting charged with a crime today. It's essentially like getting a warning, and you know, that way it's a way of correcting the behavior, addressing it appropriately, and trying to, you know, stop that behavior from happening in the future. So another question frequently asked is, what is a schedule like for us, and also do we get to pick where we work out of? So like I had mentioned before, I work out of our District 1 substation. So with that, we work a schedule system of some 12-hour shifts or 13-hour shifts, depending what day of the week you work. So I normally work the weekends, where we work 13-hour shifts, and that's how we reach our 40 hours. During the week, some deputies will work Monday through Thursday, and typically anywhere from 12 hours or maybe more. It really depends on what we get called to during the day, what we have to take care of with our administrative work. So kind of follow up with that is, do we get to pick where we work out of? So I work out of District 1. We are sometimes called the busiest district in the county, just because of the cities that we provide services to, as well as the amount of people in those areas. So more people, more need for deputies. Where we get assigned is taking into consideration things like where we live, commute time, things of that nature, which is super cool. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office does a really fantastic job at trying to put the deputies in the area where they're most needed, but also taking into consideration where they live, so that way it is not too tasking for them to get to work in a timely manner, back home to their families, and still have time after work as well to spend time with their family or loved ones. So right now, we just arrived on scene to our domestic situation. When we do show up to calls like this, typically we will wait for another responding unit, just again because of these types of situations. So right now we're just going to kind of stand by and wait for a second unit to arrive at the scene, and then we'll go in and see what's going on for this particular situation. So there's our other unit arriving right now, and then we'll go up and see what's going on. With domestics, a lot of times, we will get the call and we'll just show up to make sure that we are keeping the peace and that there is no actual crime that occurred. But obviously our part is to investigate, make sure there was no crime, and if there was, we'll certainly address it and proceed from there with our policy and procedures. Alrighty, so what we got going on today is, like I said before, without going into too much detail, but we have a domestic dispute between a mom and son, and the mom is alleging that the son struck her in the face. So with that is, obviously someone is alleging a crime, and she said that she is willing to aid, meaning she's willing to press charges and be a victim of the crime. So because of it being a violent crime, it's assault, there's an injury to her face, we're gonna attempt to Adam 123, 1017. So it looks like we have some intel on the subject actually potentially being there. So we're gonna see if we can't attempt to contact the son right now. We were able to locate our subject. I was able to speak with him. Because someone alleged a crime against him, before I talked with him, I read him his Miranda rights, so that way he is informed that he does not have to talk to me if he doesn't want to. He told me that he understood his rights, and he told me that he was still willing to talk with me. So I asked him about the incident involving him and his mother. He gave me a separate story. So what I need to do now is I need to gather a little bit more evidence before I make my final determination as to what's going to proceed from here. If what he's telling me is he was acting in defense of himself, or if he was in fact the main primary aggressor in this case. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and speak with the mother, get some further info, and then go from there before making my determination if someone's going to jail tonight, or if we're just separating parties and submitting charges to our county attorneys, which is another process that we're able to do. So we'll just go from there. As we're kind of nearing the end of our virtual ride-along, one of the last questions that is frequently asked is, what are some pointers or words of advice that a deputy could give to somebody maybe interested in joining law enforcement, as well as is it a good first career choice or even second career choice, and I'll kind of dive into that a little bit as well. But my word of advice is make sure that you physically and mentally prepare yourself. Physically, as you know, as much as that might sound like a daunting task, you know, it could be as simple as just getting a good workout regimen and getting on a good diet plan if you wanted to maybe, you know, reduce some weight or help you out mentally by getting more in shape, so that way you can deal with some of the stressors that come with the preparation to get into my position. Having a good support system. I know when I went through our academy here at the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, I had a really great support system. My family was 100% supportive. I think as much as my success as becoming a deputy sheriff to not only my hard work that I put in while showing up every day in a timely manner and going through the work, but as well as my support system deserves all the credit as well. So for you guys watching, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, my significant other, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I definitely would not be in this position without your guys' support. This is a tremendous honor to be in my position, to be a deputy, to provide law enforcement services to you guys. I absolutely love doing it, and I wouldn't trade it for any other job. So that kind of leads me into the next part of that. This is actually my second career. My first career, I guess I did trade work. I did a little bit of plumbing while I was still going through school for criminal justice, and kind of maybe doing what you're doing. We're biding time and wondering what is the right time to get into law enforcement. And honestly, I would say that there's no better time than now. Some of you might disagree with that, but I would say that now is the best time, just because of how progressive law enforcement is becoming, as well, especially here at the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office in our policy and procedures that we follow. We pride ourselves in how progressive we are with our law enforcement services to the community, and making sure that you guys are getting the quality service that you guys deserve from true professionals. Sign up, all right? Get involved in some of our programs that we offer to civilians to maybe, you know, get a little bit more insider knowledge. Again, we're truly sorry we can't have you in the cars with us. Obviously, your safety is our highest priority. So with that, we have to take the necessary precaution. Thank you guys very much. See you next time.